Cancer, let's tap in for your 2026 year ahead guidance. I hope this message finds you well. If you're a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus placement, then this is your reading. We're going to go ahead and open things up with an overall energy of the year from the Whispers of Healing Oracle cards. Then we're going to tap into a 12 card spread where we'll get detailed insight into what you can expect month by month for 2026. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to shuffle these cards, say my opening prayer, and we're going to dive into your messages. These messages are long, y'all, so look, pull out your journal, your pen, take some notes, pause it, come back to the reading if you need to. Also stay tuned. At the end, I am going to do a charm reading for you as well. Okay, all right, let's tap in, Spirit. Thank you so much for connecting me with my Cancer collective. Please allow me to channel these messages with ease, grace, accuracy, and precision so that I can provide Cancer with the insight, clarity, and guidance that they are seeking to help them navigate 2026 with the most ease, with the most clarity, and the most alignment with their highest selves and highest destined paths, Spirit. We do thank you so much for your insight, your clarity, your guidance. We thank you for your healing, your protection, and your love. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, what we got going on for my Cancer babies? Okay, I'm like, y'all would get 4 cards. I'll take it though. Y'all the first to get this many. Good Lord. All right, so we have modify. Some of you are going to have to make some changes, adjustments here this year, particularly regarding relationships, partnerships, with the number 20, 2 plus 0 is 2, okay? Some of you could have been born on the 20th of the month. February could also be a really significant time for you. We also have release, all right? So there's something you're going to be letting go of, whether it's emotions, mindsets that are outdated, relationships, an environment, material possessions. It could be anything, okay? But you are releasing. I'm hearing releasing toxins too. So maybe a lot of you will be detoxifying your body this year. May could be significant. Some of you could be born on the 5th. We also have reliable. Aries got this. So I don't know if you have Aries placements in your chart. You might want to check out that reading too. I do encourage you to watch for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right. So this is a year where you're going to be able to rely on yourself, you know, in ways that you haven't before. But also, I do feel like there will be good connections coming through as well, that you'll be able to rely on too. Somebody could be 38 years old. 3 plus 8 is 11. That is a master number when it comes to your intuition, your connection to the spirit realm. That could be growing. You could be feeling a more reliable connection to whatever you believe in, God, your higher self, universe, your ancestors, whatever, okay? Also, that 11, it does reduce to a 2 as well. So you got 2 2s that came through. So partnership, once again, seems to be really important. Yeah, look at that negativity. That's in alignment with that release card. I feel like many of you are detoxifying, not just physically, but, you know, emotionally, mentally, you're purging, you're releasing like negative influences in your life. Whether those be personal habits of yours or people around you. Maybe it's a toxic work environment or something like that, okay? And you're letting it go. I heard toxic family, for some of y'all, okay? Which I know family, that's a very soft spot for a Cancer, but some of you might be recognizing, like, my family, I love them, but they got too much going on. So some of you might be setting boundaries. I'm getting even moving away from family to create a little distance. We have 17. Some of you could have been born on the 17th of the month. That also adds up to 8. So August can be significant for you. If I didn't say here, again, February could be significant. I said it with the modify card. So February seems to be very significant for many of you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive into the month by month breakdown for you. Is interesting. I don't really use this deck a lot. like if ever, in my YouTube readings. So I'm using the Herb Crafters Tarot for you, and I just thought it was interesting because you do have this negativity card and that release card, which definitely gives me strong vibes of like detoxing. Okay, so maybe some of you are going to start learning about different like herbal supplements. I know dandelion is like really good for detoxing. I think it might be the liver or something. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of herbs out there that can help you cleanse your system. Okay, so that might be something that you guys are looking into. Some of you might be smokers, like heavy smokers too. And you might be kind of detoxing here this year, whether you're completely choosing to not smoke, or maybe you're going to be smoking a lot less than you usually do. For some of you, this could be alcohol that you've been overindulging with, and you're going to be kind of setting some stricter boundaries with yourself when it comes to the overconsumption of alcohol, sugar, you know, whatever it is, okay? So let me shuffle these cards up. If I didn't already mention, this is the Herb Crafters Tarot that I'll be using here. We're going to see what your month by month breakdown for 2026 is. I don't know if you heard that beeping going off in the background. My mom, she's actually cooking, so it was the oven going off. But that's the only time that I've done these readings so far that I've heard a sound. I heard a honk for somebody else, but I do like to point stuff like that out. So there could be something that's trying to like catch your attention, Cancer. Going back to that release, going back to that negativity is kind of like a cause for alarm in a way. So yeah. All right, let's see, Spirit. Tap me in with my Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus placements. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus placements. All right, so they say this is the one. I'm going to lay out the cards here, and we're going to get into this reading. See what we got going on. It's funny, I was just talking about my mom cooking too. So my mom, she's a Cancer sun, so big Cancer energy. She's doing her thing in the kitchen. We're having our Secret Santa exchange tonight with the family. So she's in there cooking, all that good stuff. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. Overall energy, what's underneath the deck? We have the Four of Water, mint. Okay. So, you know, you might want to incorporate some mint into your diet here somehow, some way this year. Okay. You know, I love a good peppermint tea. So yes, this is Four of Water. So this is an energy of definitely boundaries. Okay. You know, being willing to say no to things that aren't good for you. All right. Now, sometimes the Four of Water can be a bit of a womp type of energy, okay, where it's just like, man, I'm not really feeling it. I'm just going through the day-to-day motions. So there is going to be a need for you to adjust your perspective a bit. It is a reminder to show gratitude, you know, for what you do have, but even for the things that you don't have yet, that have yet to come into existence for you, okay? There might just need to be a realignment is something that I'm hearing. Some of you actually might need to get your car like realigned, aligned, or something like that. That might be something worth looking into. I'm also getting that makes me think of your spine as well. So some of you could be like working with a chiropractor or something like that. doing like yoga, things like that, to just like bring you back into alignment. You could be working with like your chakras, you know, trying to get those all in alignment and balance, all that good stuff. But yeah, this is definitely an energy of, you know, finding that balance there, which sometimes requires us to say no to certain things that take us out of balance, right? That kind of get us out of whack. All right. Especially for you when it comes to your emotions. This is the realm of water. You are a water sign. All right. So things that kind of impact you on an emotional level that just aren't good for you. It's definitely time to set a boundary there. It's definitely time to say, like, no more. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into this a bit further. We're going to look into the month by month breakdown here. Starting off with January, we have the Three of Fire, Calendula. All right. So this is about patience and kind of waiting for your ships to sail in, but remaining optimistic while doing so. I love working with calendula. It's just so pretty. I love the colors itself. Which, you know, if you know the tarot, especially like the Rider-Waite tarot, it has similar color schemes in the illustration. So the Three of Wands is a card, or in this case, the Three of Fire is a card of optimism, is a card of hope, looking forward to the future, feeling the promise of the future that is available to you, like it's coming in, it's not too far away. So some of you could have some really good things that are going to be coming in for you here this year, okay, that you're really looking forward to. Maybe the new year kicks off in 2026 with, you know, some good news for some of you. There might be some travel involved, maybe somebody coming to visit you, vice versa, you going to visit somebody. But this is a good way to, you know, kick off the year just feeling more vibrant, okay? You know, feeling more upbeat. Maybe some of you have had quite a time here in 2025 and you're just like ready for this year to be over. But this Three of Fire is definitely giving you that perspective to look forward to the future and what's to come in a brand new year. So I definitely love to see that for you, okay? Especially regarding any of your creative or entrepreneurial pursuits. This is definitely good energy around those types of things, okay? I like how she's got the, well, there's like this oil here. So maybe some of you might want to make like a oil with calendula, and it could be something that you, and you can infuse it with like some essential oils as well. But it could be something good for you to work with regularly to increase your sense of optimism. Because, you know, I know water signs, they can sometimes get a little bogged down, not even just by your own emotions, but the emotions like in your environment, the emotions of other people, because you guys do tend to be highly empathic. So, you know, this can be something that helps you kind of counteract all the stuff going on outside of you. Look, I might have to hit the pause on this. I'm getting too many distractions in the kitchen right now. I'm grateful for mama cooking, but I'm just like, I need quiet. So, you know, if at any point I pause and kind of pick back up, you know why. Moving on next to February, we have the Iha of Fire. Okay, so we continue with the element of fire at play. Okay, this is the Page of Wands. All right, so this is a sense of curiosity and creativity that you're working with at this time. I don't know if this is carnelian, what crystal that is. You know, maybe that could be a good one for you to work with. I don't know, some of you have like a crystal ball or something like that that you could be working with as well. You know, you might be a little woo-woo doing your witchy things. So this could be a good time for you to, you know, do some sort of divination work. For others of you, this is a really good time. All right, so this Page of Wands can also represent good news that is on its way to you, especially regarding new opportunities in career and entrepreneurship. I even heard in friendship for some of you as well. So, you know, we're continuing with this really vibrant, optimistic, playful, curious energy. Some of you could be starting like a new project. You know, you've got a really great idea and you're like, all right, let me start working with this. Okay. You could be collaborating with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, on this. We do have California poppy that is associated with this card. So that might be a flower that you like to work with, maybe want to bring into your environment. Even the person that you could be connecting with here, they could have like the spirit of a California poppy. All right. It's something very friendly, bubbly, like upbeat about them. That's going to be really good for your energy too. So I'm even drawn to the little tiger in the background there. So it could be something about their spirit that is very fierce. All right. Which could be a nice little balance for you as a water sign. Moving into March, we have the Seven of Air. So that would be the Seven of Swords, which can be a bit of a tricky card, you know, self-sabotage in some cases, but in other cases, the lion, stealing, thieving card too. So I'm going to get a clarifier on this just to, you know, make sure everything is all good here. But this is also an energy of doing things behind the scene. Okay, so you might be working on something on the low, especially with the book here. I don't know if you're like a writer or something like that, or you could be studying something. I heard studying someone behind the scenes. I don't know if you on somebody's threads on their Twitter, whatever you looking on. You like, because yeah, I'm definitely getting the energy of studying something or someone. Okay, we do have the eucalyptus associated with this card, so that might be good to incorporate into you know, your self-care practices, especially like eucalyptus essential oils. I know some people do like the eucalyptus bundle like in their shower to, you know, just open up the sinuses and all that good stuff. So that might be something worth looking into. Let's see. I'm going to get a clarifier just so we can make sure. And this card just flew out of the deck here. Ten of Water. Interesting. So yeah, this can very much be regarding a relationship. You might be noticing ways that you potentially sabotage relationships. That could be coming up here. Now, this could also be, as I mentioned, you studying someone, learning more about them. And it's kind of in private as well. I almost see like you guys maybe having a journal or something and taking notes on this person. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. You might be trying to figure out like, is this person a good match for you when it comes to not even just like a partnership, because it might not even be romantic. It can be platonic as well. But you could also just be wondering like, is this a good fit for my community? Because that's what the Ten of Water really gives me, is like, it's more than just like a romantic relationship. It's your tribe, quote unquote. Okay. um, your chosen family in some cases. So you might be, you know, trying to figure out if somebody is a good fit for that. So, you know, you're just taking your nose, doing what you need to do. You know, if it is a romantic relationship, you're trying to figure out like, is this person going to mesh well, like with my friends? Because you might be someone that really cares about, you know, you care about your platonic relationships, and you would want to kind of intermingle your romantic connection within those relationships, because I mean, essentially your romantic connection is your chosen family too. So, you know, you're trying to figure out, are they going to fit into that with you? Okay, so we do have red clover. I forgot what it's called. It has like a little tagline, like the sweetener of life, something like that. So maybe incorporating red clover It looks like they're drinking it as a tea here. Of course, do your research when we're talking about these herbs and stuff like that to determine what can be ingested, what is just supposed to be used like externally, topically, all that stuff, okay? But yeah, the red clover can be something that sweetens your relationships, your disposition in general. So, that might be something worth working with. All right. Moving on next to April, we have the Three of Earth. So we do have some sort of collaboration coming into focus. That might be work related. There could be some financial ties. I heard roommates for some of you. For others of you, this can be a contract that is on the table for you. You could be like negotiating the terms of the contract, things of that nature. We have raspberry here, so maybe you're going to be eating a lot of raspberries. I just heard like a raspberry cake or something, also like a raspberry tart. I don't know if raspberries are in season in April. I doubt it. That's probably not until the summer. But yes, this is definitely an energy of working well with others. So we love to see that. All right. And this is also like, I love how their baskets are full of the raspberries. So whoever it is you're working with, everyone is like full of their own unique skill set, their own unique gifts and talents, and you guys are bringing them all together to make some magic. Okay. So, I'm getting whatever you might be working on. It might not like ripen until the summer, because we know April is like the springtime. So there could be something significant about you working with this group of people, maybe for like the next 3 months. And then like in the summer, things come to fruition with that. So that's definitely exciting there. Some of you, it is springtime, so you might be getting outside a little more. I don't know if there is anything like as far as fruits and stuff like that that are in season that you're picking or anything like that. But hey, maybe some of you are doing that, or just enjoying the fresh air, the outdoors. That could be something good. Like, I don't know, you might be going on a little picnic or something, but it looks really sweet. Like, there does seem to be a big emphasis on connection and collaboration for you, from what I've seen so far. So, going back to your overall energy, right? It was about releasing the negative in your life and modifying your approach potentially to relationships, okay? Where you are being more intentional about the kind of people that you're connecting with. Because, Cancer, sometimes you can be very go with the flow. Like, oh, just because somebody likes you, you feel like, okay, well, I got to be their friend. And this is a lesson that I recently realized myself. Like, just because somebody wants to be my friend doesn't mean I have to be their friend. And I've often found that, I won't say all the time, but it's been quite a few occasions where somebody has wanted to be my friend, where I literally maybe had no previous interest in being their friend, until they kind of came into my orbit. Granted, these are people that I may have even interacted with online, followed them and stuff like that, but I was never really just trying to be friends. But, they might have reached out, took that initiative, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool, let's be friends. And then usually shit kind of turns out really weird. So it could be something like that, where, just because people take an interest in you, just because they like your energy, whatever the case may be, doesn't mean that you have to invest in that person. Doesn't mean that you have to be friends with that person. And it doesn't mean that it's any beef either. It could literally just be like, you cool, but, you're not really my cup of tea. All right. So that could be something that you guys are learning here this year. Moving on to May, we have the Five of Water. Okay. Golden seal coming through. I'm not really familiar with that herb, plant, whatever. But this would be the Five of Cups, which does indicate some sort of grief, sadness that you could be navigating here in the month of May. All right. It could just even be something from your past. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, a situation that's going on during May that's making you sad. Or maybe for some of you, like maybe something happened to you like in May, like a few years ago, and every time May comes around, you just feel sad. Ooh, what holiday is during May? I think it's Mother's Day. So some of you could be feeling some grief around Mother's Day, okay? Maybe it has to do with your relationship with your mother or lack thereof. For some of you, maybe your mom passed away and you're really missing her. It's going to be different for everybody, right? But there is going to be a little bit of sadness that you're navigating during May. I'm going to get a clarifier. We'll see. I do want to see if this is maybe something from the past or if this is something that could be popping up in May. Spirit, what is this Five of Water? Clarify that for me. Woo. We have Justice coming out and the Seven of Earth. Okay. It's interesting. We have cannabis on this, so some of y'all might be smokers out there. I did mention that earlier. Especially if you are kind of detoxing a little bit from cannabis. I don't know, maybe you're doing a detox and you're just kind of feeling a little sad. Because, I know for me, we can definitely lift up my spirits and everything. And there is a bit of an adjustment phase when I'm not smoking. And it's just like, whoa, now I got to find happiness in other sources. So that could be the case for some of you. For others of you, you can feel like you've been wronged in some way with the Justice card coming up here, which is resulting in you feeling sad. Also with the Seven of Earth with Oak here, you might be feeling a little stuck, feeling like something you've invested your time and energy into, or even someone you've invested your time and energy into, maybe turns out not to be like the best investment, especially if they do something that kind of hurts your feelings. So I do apologize, if that is the case. Some of you, we have that Justice card. That could be a Libra energy that you are connected to, or something could have happened like during this most recent Libra season, and it's going to be coming up again in May, and there's going to be some feelings that you have around that are a little sad, but you'll get through it. I think being outside could be a good thing for you. Maybe going to the park, sitting near a tree, reading a good book, journaling. I say, like, what don't kill you only make you stronger, and oaks are very sturdy, right? So some of you might need to get a little more grounded, like the oak tree. And keep in mind, too, your environments. And like I was saying earlier, you guys are very empathic, so you could even be picking up on the emotions of others within your environment. Mother's Day can be touchy for a lot of people, whether it's in relation to their own mother, whether it's like maybe they're sad because they have not been a mother yet and it's something that they desire to experience. It could be a lot going on there. So give yourself grace if it's you and your emotions you're navigating. Give others grace if it's something that you're picking up on in your environment. And definitely get outside. Get outside. Go hug a tree or something. Walk barefoot in the grass and just sit and be one with nature. Okay, I feel like that's going to be really good for you. All right. Moving on to June. We have Death, Marigold. I love Marigold. It's so pretty. So for some of you, there is a big change coming in for you. Now, I like Death because it's like rebirth is associated with this card as well. So it's not all bad, if something is leaving out of your life, it is because it's supposed to create space for something new. All right. I like the butterflies in this image as well. So you could be kind of maybe going through like that cocoon phase where the caterpillar is kind of breaking down into the ooey gooey stuff before it takes new shape and form into like the butterfly. So that might be the space that you are in right now, like in that cocoon phase. All right. So be patient with the process here, um, and know that you are going to come out on the other side with a beautiful set of wings. Okay. For some of you, yeah, I don't know. It could be somebody that has passed away, particularly like a grandmother. I'm getting a feminine energy coming through, off of that May energy, Mother's Day, and all that stuff. So you could really be missing like a grandmother, an aunt, somebody that was like really cool with you, somebody that you felt at home with. This could be a good time in June for you to honor that person, because this represents Dios de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, which isn't until November. But we don't have to wait until November to honor our dead, our ancestors. Okay. Some of you could be visiting like the grave site of this particular ancestor. If you have like an ancestral altar, this is a good time to, spend some time at your altar, reset your altar, fresh glass of water, maybe give some food offerings or whatever, light up a candle and just sit in the presence with the ancestor that you are maybe longing to connect with. Because I do feel like when we have that deep longing, they're longing to connect with us as well. So you just kind of have to create that space for you guys to do so. All right. But yeah, just trust in whatever's happening. If there is like a door closing for you at this time, just know that there's going to be a new one that's opening for you right around the corner. Okay. Moving on to July, we have the Adelita of air. This is, or of earth, excuse me. This is the Knight of Pentacles. We have Yucca here. So this is a very slow and steady, grounded energy, very patient. Once again, like I'm seeing a lot of energy with you getting more grounded, getting outside, connecting with the earth. I feel like there's, no coincidence why I used this particular deck for you all. I do think like connecting with the earth is going to be, and is always good for anybody, regardless of their, element that they are ruled by. But I feel like it's going to be really good for you this year, is connecting with the earth, herbs, plants, flora, getting outside in nature, all that good stuff. Okay. Especially here in July, some of you might be going on a hike or, going camping, doing anything that allows you to connect with nature. Now, be patient. There may be a really slow unfolding with things when it comes to financial aspirations, anything like with work, even with your health. If you've recently started like a new fitness routine or something like that, give it time to take full effect. Maybe you're like, oh, expecting some really quick results or something like that. Like, this is more slow and steady wins the race. Okay. I don't know if somebody's training for like a marathon or something, so you could be building up your endurance, something like that. But definitely, don't rush it. It's okay. You don't have to feel pressured to be at the finish line quite yet. Some of you could also be traveling to a place like with a desert. That can be really significant, like Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, California, anywhere, Mexico, anywhere like that. But yeah, that could be very specific for somebody. Moving on next to August, we have the Seven of Fire, which would be the Seven of Wands, and we have cinnamon. Love me some cinnamon. So this is about being determined, pushing through the obstacles. Going back to Adelita of air, the energy is really slow and you're just like, I just want things to open up. I want things to happen quicker. Well, things will definitely start to move a little quicker for you in August. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's Leo season, fire sign energy. So you can definitely experience the pace kind of picking up a little bit there. You know, maybe you want to incorporate cinnamon into some sort of ritual practice or whatever. You can burn cinnamon sticks and stuff like that. Um, you know, that might be something to help you clear the energy, speed things up. What does that say? Curanderismo. I think that has something to do with like storytelling. You might need to read stories. Read stories about people that have had to overcome major obstacles. That's going to be something that's really inspiring for you. You might even, I mentioned you, some of you are writers. You could be writing a story. Maybe it has something to do with the obstacles that you've overcome in life, right? You know how art imitates life, that type of thing. So this could be a time where you're really feeling inspired by maybe your own life circumstances and you're like, let me put this into, let me do some screenwriting, let me write a novel, let me write some poetry, whatever you do, okay? Put it in a song. But yeah, that can definitely be something good for you to work with there. This is about standing your ground, being brave, being bold, being courageous, not backing down from the opposition, from the naysayers, from the haters, okay? So, I will say some of y'all might have some people around you. The Seven of Wands can sometimes give that crabs in a bucket mentality where people don't want to see you do better than they're doing. So yeah, you might have a little bit of that going on, some of that hateration, holleration, but don't take it too personally. It's because I heard don't let them see you sweat. All right. Don't let them see you sweat. And, that's not to be fake or anything, but like certain people really just don't deserve to see you sweat. Okay. Maybe keep it in your, talk to your bestie about it, vent to them or some shit. But, maybe don't complain too much about it online or whatever, where there could literally be people watching your every move and like low key over here. I heard gloating when you go through struggles and stuff. That's fucking weird. But it's people out there like that, y'all. So yeah, you do want to be mindful of situations like that. I heard stamina. Your stamina could be increasing, especially for those of you. I don't know why I'm getting like somebody's about to run a marathon or some shit, like a 5K or whatever. But yeah, like your stamina is definitely growing here. So we love to see that, even maybe in the bedroom for some of y'all, okay? So y'all definitely have some fun with that. Moving on next to September, we have curandera of water, seaweed. All right. So I don't know, some of y'all might take a seaweed bath. I know they do them little wraps at the spa, like a seaweed wrap or something like that. I don't know if it's good for detoxifying. I don't know what the purposes of it is for, but yeah, you might want to incorporate that into like a nice little spa day. It looks like she's kind of preparing herself a really nice spiritual bath. So that might be something that you want to do for yourself in September. I'm like, this is such a vibe. Like her bathroom window is overlooking the ocean. I'm jealous. Maybe you're traveling somewhere. You got you a nice like room, hotel room or something, and it's overlooking the ocean. Look, I am jealous. Have fun. I'm seeing those little mermaid spirits. Some of y'all could be connected to like siren energy, Yemoja, and like if you're into the Orisha and stuff like that. I mean, that could be Mami Wata, like a lot of like African deities are associated with mermaids. So, yeah, there could be some type of connection to that. But this would be the King of Cups in, more traditional versions of the tarot there, which is your energy. You're a water sign, right? And coming through as the King of Cups, this is you mastering your elements and also just being in a really good space emotionally, where you're just really balanced, you're calm, you're rooted, whatever is going on around you, you're unbothered, like that type of situation. There's just a sense of peace that is exuding from within you. So, definitely do things that are going to cultivate more peace in your life. Maybe you can't get away on a nice trip and book a hotel room overlooking the sea. But, if you got a bath at your crib, you could definitely take you a little spiritual bath, right? Or, if you're not really too familiar with them, just take you a little bubble bath, put some essential oils in it or whatever. But yeah, light up some candles and whatnot. That can definitely be something that's really good for you. The King of Cups is also someone that people look up to for support, guidance, especially regarding their own emotional matters. So you could be like a confidant for somebody during this time. You might be feeling like a therapist friend, but sometimes that's just the mode we got to be in. It's one thing if you're just always in that mode, and then you can't ever rely on that friend to lean on when you need them. Then yeah, that's not really a good situation to be in. But sometimes we got to tap into our little therapy bag, even though you might not necessarily be a therapist, but it's really just tapping into your empathy, tapping into your wisdom, and being willing to share that with others. So this could be a time in which you are doing just that. For others of you, you could be connecting with another water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, especially if you are maybe wanting to connect with a masculine energy. The king of water would typically be that. I also got grandmother though, because in this deck, I think the energy is a little more feminine. So yeah, some of you could be connecting with like a grandmother or a mentor of some sort that may be very well versed within the realm of emotion. So, this could be your therapist, maybe, that you're connecting with here. I'm also getting like maybe some of you going on a spiritual retreat of some sort. And there just seems to be an elder that's like really important that you're connecting with. That's beautiful. I just heard for some people an older sister. Maybe you're visiting an older sister, staying with her. And she just kind of wants to pour her love into you. That's sweet. All right. Moving on to October, we have the 8 of Earth. Okay, so that would be the 8 of Pentacles, turmeric. Ooh, that should, I'm like, it'd be staining stuff. She's literally over here dyeing clothing and stuff. So maybe some of y'all are going to be working with turmeric and dyeing some things. That'd be a little fun project. I feel like Cancer is super crafty and into like the DIY projects and all that stuff. I'm even just looking at all the clothing on the line. I do love the color. It's really pretty. So some of y'all might want to work with turmeric and, dye you a little t-shirt or something. But the 8 of Earth is an energy of discipline, of hard work, just kind of putting your head down and getting shit done. So in October, you may very well be doing that. There could be a specific project that you're working on. And you don't want to be too distracted by outside noise and what's going on around you. You just really want to tap in and, get this project done. So maybe some of you, you have a deadline that you're wanting to meet. We are kind of getting towards the end of the year. So maybe you set a goal for yourself at some point, like, okay, by the end of the year, I'm going to, finish this. Okay. So you're almost there for sure. So just kind of lock in and do what you need to do. It might be a little bit more of an isolated energy. Typically with the 8 of Earth, it's just one person just working away, doing their own thing. All right. So definitely take the space for yourself that you may need to, for some of you, it's just like, I want to finish off the year strong. I want to, knock off things on my to-do list. I want to accomplish my New Year's resolutions. I want to manifest those intentions that I set. So it does look like you're on the right track to doing just that. So we definitely love to see that for you. I heard commitment to self. Yeah. This is what you've been cultivating here throughout the year. You know, and you guys do have a tendency, it's easy for you to commit to others, to sacrifice for others, to pour into others, you know, all the things. But this could be a year where you're really wanting to commit to yourself, your goals, your dreams, your well being. And you're doing a good job. Okay, so definitely give yourself a pat on the back there. All right. You could be incorporating, because that's like a root vegetable or something. So more root vegetables into your diet could be really good for you. See some of you making like a really good soup. I don't know, like a potato soup or something like that. Hearing beets as well. Sweet potatoes. All right, moving on to November for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus placements. We have the Emperor, Hemlock. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, this hemlock can be kind of toxic. So do your research if you plan on working with that. Because I think you gotta really do so with care, or it might be something to just kind of avoid working with. But nonetheless, the Emperor is sturdy. He's disciplined. When I say he, it could be she too. You know, if you're a woman watching this, however you identify. But this is about you really locking in, stepping into leadership and authority here, taking the reins when it comes to your life. You're not looking for anyone to make shit happen for you. You're going to make it happen for yourself. Okay, so there is a lot of motivation and determination that's coming through for you here as the Emperor. For some of you, you could literally be leading something, like you could be in a position of management, directing something. You know, some of you might have your own business. But the Emperor, they run the show, okay? So, like you literally could be running something here. And you're doing a really good job at it as well. For some of you, there could be a masculine that you are connecting with in November, whether it be a significant other. Sometimes this can be a father figure, grandfather. In some cases, this can be like your supervisor, someone that you like directly report to, something like that. They could be significant to you here during the month of November. This is about creating strong foundations for yourself. You know, maybe when it comes to your finances, I heard your home life, especially with that number 4 there. I don't know if some of you are buying a home or maybe moving. Even if you're not buying and you're renting, it's still about, you know, creating security for yourself. I heard inheritance. Some of you could be inheriting a home or some sort of finances that will enable you to like go buy a house or something like that. Okay. And the Emperor can sometimes be a little stubborn, so be mindful of that, you know, being a little too stubborn, controlling. However, I always feel like it's a good idea to be stubborn when it comes to our goals, our dreams, you know, to never give up on them. So in that case, you can be stubborn. But when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that, you do want to be mindful of that characteristic, because it can definitely pop up in matters of relationships. Okay. Some of you could be connecting to like an Aries energy. Moving on to December, we have the World. Yes, Pachama or Pachamama. Yeah, Pachamama. Okay. So I don't know why it took me so long to read that. There's a feeling of completion, success, victory here. The World is the last card of the major arcana as well. So it does give like, you know, that final stretch you were in with the 8 of Earth. Like, I'm almost done. I've almost reached my deadline. I've almost crossed off all the things on my to-do list for this year. You definitely do achieve it. by the end of the year. Okay, so it looks really good. There could be cause for celebration. Some of you could be traveling. Maybe you're taking yourself on a trip, especially internationally. Maybe this is something you kind of set at the end of the year for yourself. You were like, okay, if I accomplish this goal, then I'm going to take myself on a trip to wherever, Paris, South Africa, Australia, Japan, wherever you want to go. Okay. But this is definitely a beautiful energy when it comes to expanding your horizons. Look at that butterfly there too. And it's right underneath that death card too. So whatever kind of ended for you in June, that cocoon phase that you were in, by the time you end the year 6 months later, you're definitely popping out as that beautiful butterfly. So I love to see that for you, Cancer. This is a really beautiful energy for you, where you're feeling accomplished. You're taking a look back at the year and you're just like, you know what? I really did that. Okay. Some of you could be getting recognition. You could be growing in popularity, in some cases, even fame, that you could be experiencing here as well. Some of you might be getting a reward for something. I don't know, like a plaque or a trophy, something, okay? Even just some sort of acknowledgement that you're getting for just doing a job well done, okay? Because I also see the world as being like on a stage in some capacity. So, maybe you're getting really good feedback as far as, some work that you put out there, and the critics are just absolutely adoring what you've done, okay? I heard what you've contributed to the world. So I think that's a really beautiful energy. Anything that you are wrapping up this time, this feels like a different ending than that death card, which might have been a little more, difficult, but this feels like a yes. I'm so glad this is over. It's done with. I did that. So yeah, go ahead, celebrate, turn up at the end of the year. If anybody deserves it, it is definitely you. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap you up with a little charm here. If you've made it this far, thank you for sticking in here with me. Thank you for having a longer attention span, okay? I know it's challenging these days, y'all. I get it. But, sometimes we need to be willing to just slow down a little bit. That ain't going to hurt us, okay? So let's see what we got going on for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, for your charm for 2026. I'm just gonna stir this up a little bit. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, got this little flower here. Okay, so you could be receiving your flowers. It's interesting. I used the Herb Crafter's Tarot, and we got like some flowers, quite a few flowers that showed up in your reading as well. So something about you blossoming here this year. As I was even saying, by the end of the year, you have your wings of the butterfly. So also buy yourself flowers, bring more flowers into your space, your environment. That's going to be something that uplifts your mood, puts a smile on your face, also attracts good energy to you as well. Okay. So this is really beautiful. I love this. I'm excited for you guys to, fully blossom here this year. You deserve it. People are going to be looking at you like a beautiful flower, just mesmerized by what you are capable of. So I'm really excited for you, Cancer. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up your reading here. If it's resonated at all, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment below. Let me know what you're looking forward to this year. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, definitely do so. I hope you all have a happy holiday season, a happy new year, and an even better 2026. Until next time, sending you so much love. Take care. Bye.